Hello all. So today we are going to see different ways to solve the system of linear equations. So there are, let's say that there are two equations in two variables and we want to solve them. So we are going to see different methods which we can use to solve them to get the values of maybe let's say x and y. Okay. So this question that you see on the screen, we have two equations. The first one is 3x minus 5y equals to -1 and x minus y equals to -1. तो अभी दो इक्वेशंस हैं दो वेरिएबल्स हैं वी कैन सॉल्व इट देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल राइट so how we are going to solve it? So this method is called substitution. So see, there are different methods, but you have to choose based upon your understanding which method suits best. Okay, so for example, like in this situation, I can get value of any one of the variables very easily. So I can say x equals to, if I take this y towards the right hand side, it becomes plus y because it was minus y here, and y minus 1. So x becomes y minus 1. Or I can take y to the right hand side and bring 1 to the left hand side. So that becomes y equals to x plus 1. So both of them are possible here, right? So this is one method that we find the value of one variable and use it to put it into the second equation, which we'll see. Okay, so this is first method. Let's go through these methods and then we'll understand. Okay, so let's say that I use this one, y equals to x plus 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. So putting 1 in 2. So what is the first equation? So the first equation is y equals to x plus 1 and I'm going to put in second. So it becomes 3x minus 5. And what is y here? So y is x plus 1 from this equation, right? So it becomes 3x minus 5x plus 1 equals to -1. And this is I can solve very easily because this is a single equation and a single variable, right? So this becomes 3x, right? Minus 5x minus 5 equals to -1. I have just opened the brackets, right? So I have multiplied -5 with x and -5 with 1. So it becomes minus 5x minus 5. So 3x minus 5x becomes minus 2x. And if I take this -5 towards the right hand side, it becomes plus. So it becomes -1 plus 5. So a lot of children do this mistake that they try to solve all the things in a single go. In case you are struggling to solve the equation, you just go step by step. So what I have done here, I have just put -5 towards the right hand side, but I have not calculated -1 and +5 here in this step. That I'll do in the next step. So 5 minus 1 becomes 4 and becomes -2x. So here also, if you see, I have put this the left hand side of the equation as it is. I have not changed it yet. In the next part, in the next step, I can change it. 4 upon, and I can, since -2 is a multiplication with x, it becomes -2 in the division on the right hand side. So whenever we bring things from left hand side to right hand side or from right hand to left hand side, the operation changes. So minus becomes plus, plus becomes minus, multiplication becomes division, and division becomes multiplication. So in this case, it was -2 into x, right? So that's why it becomes divided here on the right hand side. So it becomes 4 upon -2 is -2. So this is what we have found out. So x equals to -2 is the solution for x. Now for the y value, can use y equals to x plus 1. So x we know is -2 and plus 1 was as it is. So y becomes -1. Okay. So these things you have to do step by step. So this I have put here just to make you understand. But when you're doing it in the exams or when you're doing in the class as well, you do these things step by step, maybe down as only, so that it becomes clear, like when you have started this, so how come we have -2 here? Or you can also say this is third and I am putting value of x from value of x from third equation. So that's what we have used here, right? So these things you have to write it down very clearly so that the teacher has no way he can cut the marks. It becomes very clear to him what you have done, where you have done, and it becomes important or it becomes easy for you as well to go through these steps very easily, right? So step by step you can do if you are facing any confusion. Okay. So I hope this question is clear. So this was by substitution. Okay, let's go ahead to the next question. So this question is regarding, we are going to equate the coefficients. So if you see here, the equations are very big here also and here also, right? If I see the equations and if I think this is 101x, this is 102x, this is 102y, this is 101y, how do I solve it? Becomes very difficult if you try to, if you start thinking about it, right? So what we are going to do here is we are going to equate the coefficients. So what are the coefficients? So coefficients is nothing which is written along with the variable. So in this particular term, if you see, the coefficient is 101. 101 into x is 101x. Okay. So we are going to bring the coefficients of the variables same and we are going to use it to solve the equation to get the values of x and y. Okay. So how are we going to do this? So if you see here, these are two equations which are where the values of x and y, coefficients of x and y are interchanged. So they are, the first method here is if you see any of these questions, what you can do is you can try to make the coefficients of x or y same, or let's say only x. Okay, coefficients of x same, and then we subtract them. So we'll see it how to do it. Okay, so in this particular question, what I'm going to do is before going to that equating the coefficient step, let's say this equation is 1 and this equation is 2. Okay, so I'm going to add them. Let's say I want to add 1 plus 2. And in the exams, you have to write adding 1 and 2. Okay, so 101x plus 102x becomes 203x plus, again same here, it becomes 203y. So 102y plus 101y equals to 220y, and it becomes 304 plus 305, right? So it becomes 203 into x plus y. I've just taken 203 common from here and becomes 609. If this side you see 5 plus 4 is 9, 0 is common, and then 3 plus 3 is 6. And if you see, this is nothing but thrice we are doing 203. And one thing more, so if whenever you are subtract or dividing the equations or numbers, you put the quotient on the top, not next to it. Okay, that creates a confusion. So here in this scenario, 3 3 is 9, 3 2 is 6. So that's why it is nothing but multiple of 203 into 3 is 609. So that's what I have divided both sides by 203. So this becomes now x plus y becomes 3. So this is one equation that I have found out now. Okay, so let's call it equation 3. Now, if you see, we started with this 101x, 102y. The numbers are very big. But if you see now, we have reduced the equation to single coefficients of x and y are 1 only. But still, either we can put it on in these equations by the substitution method, or what we are going to do is, now we have added them, right? Now we are going to subtract 2 from 1. Okay, 2 from 1. So that becomes 1 minus 2. So if you see here, 101x minus 102x becomes minus x. 102y minus 101y becomes plus y equals to 304 minus 305 becomes minus 1 again. So I'll interchange the signs here. So it becomes easy for us to understand. X minus y becomes 1. So I multiplied the whole thing with minus 1. Okay, both the sides are multiplied. Now this equation becomes 4 for us. If you see again here, the coefficients of x and y are only 1. And it will become very easy for us to solve this equation now. So what I have done in this step is nothing. It's nothing but I've subtracted this equation, second equation that we have here. I've subtracted from first equation. And that's why I got x minus y equals to 1. Now what I'm going to do is, if you see x plus y is 3, x minus y is 1. And so the coefficients are same for these two equations. 3 and 4, the coefficients are same. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add 3 and 4. What will happen when I add 3 and 4 is, this is x plus y plus x minus y. So let me just write it down whole. so that you understand. So this is equation 3, and I'm saying I'm adding equation 4. So this becomes like this, and on the right hand side it becomes 3 plus 1, right? So if you see here, this is plus y, this is minus y. This gets removed. So and x plus x becomes 2x, and 3 plus 1 becomes 4. So x becomes 2. I hope it is clear till here. There is no confusion. We have just added equation 3 and 4. So x plus y and x minus y are added now. And on the right hand side, we have 3 and 1. So I've added them as well. I've just subtracted. So y minus y becomes 0. And x plus x becomes 2x. So that's what I've written here on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, we have 3 plus 1, which becomes 4. And x becomes 2. Now we have x equals to 2. Let's say this is 5. And I put 5 in, let's say 3. Okay. So x plus y is 3. This is equation number 3, right? And x equals to 2 is equation 5. So I'm putting value of x as 2. 2 plus y is 3. And if I bring this 2 to the right hand side, it becomes, so this is plus 2, right? If I bring it to the right hand side, it becomes minus 2. So it becomes y equals to 3 minus 2, which becomes y equals to 1. Okay, so we have found the value of x and y, both the variables. So I hope this is clear as well. So the actual way of solving these using this method is that we want to bring the coefficients of the equation same. So we were not able to find the coefficients same here because it was 101x and 102y. So we did some calculation which brought the coefficient same. There is one more method to bring the coefficient same. Let's take a scenario when we have equations like 3x plus 4y equals to 8. And the other equation that we have is, let's say 2x plus 5y equals to 2. Okay. So here if you see the coefficients, so the method that we have used in the previous scenario, that we have added 1 plus 2 or we have added 1 minus 2, like these two steps that we have done, we can't do it here. So what we can do here is, we have to make the coefficient same. Let's say I want to make the coefficient of x same. So what I need to do is, if I take the LCM of 2 and 3, that is 6. So I have to bring 6 in both the equations for the coefficient of x. And then I can easily solve y. How do I do it? I multiply this one with 2. So this becomes 2 into 3 becomes 6x. 2 into 4 becomes 8, right? Y plus 2 8 is 16. So when I multiply 2 with the whole equation, it becomes 6x plus 8y equals to 16. Similarly, if I multiply this equation with 3, because I want to get this coefficient of x as 6, so I'll have to multiply with 3. 3 into 2 is again 6x. 3 5 is 15. And 3 2 is 6. So now what I want to do is, the coefficients are same for the x, right? So I'll subtract this one. So this gets cancelled. 6x minus 6x is 0. 8 minus 15 is, so this becomes negative. This also becomes negative. 8 minus 15 is minus 7y. And 16 minus 6 is 10. So I got value of 10 is minus 10 by 7. So this is how you can also solve these type of questions, where the coefficients can be brought equal by multiplying the equations with different numbers. Okay. And so once you get y, you can find the value of x by putting value of y in any of these equations. Okay. So that I'll leave. You can do it on your own. Okay. So I hope this is also clear. Okay. Let's go to the third question now. So we have these question in front of us. And the method that we are going to learn is reducible to the system of linear equations. So if you see here, this is 5 upon x minus 1 plus 12 upon y minus 2 equals to 2. And on the second equation is 6 upon x minus 1 minus 3 upon y minus 2 is 1. So if you see here, this is not the sort of linear equations that we have been seeing, right? X minus 1 and y minus 2 are in the denominator, right? And how do we solve it? Because if I multiply, it will become some sort of xy equation and it will be difficult for me. And if you see very clear, if you notice it very carefully, you'll see that x minus 1 and y minus 2 are getting repeated in the second equation as well, right? So what I do is, I'll say 1 upon x minus 1 is a, and 1 upon y minus 2 is b. So let's convert these equations in the form of a and b. Okay, so it becomes 5a plus 12b equals to 2. So these equations become like this. And this equation reduces to 6a minus 3b equals to 1. So now we have this equation and we want to solve it, right? So the equation that we got in the question, it was not looking as the normal linear equation that we have solved. Okay. But if you see now, this we can solve very easily. We have reduced it to a system of linear equations, which we are going to solve. Now, if you see here, I'm going to use so we have two methods that we have learned. The first one was substitution. The second one was making the coefficient same. So that's what I'm going to do here. If you see here, it is 5a, 6a, the value, the LCM of 5 and 6 becomes 30. So that will be quite a lot of multiplication that I have to do. And if you see 12b and minus 3b, so LCM is 12. So 12 is already here. I don't need to touch this equation. I just need to work on this equation to bring the coefficient same. So what I'll do, I'll multiply the second equation with 4. So let's say that this is 1 and this is 2. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll multiply 2 with 4 so that this minus 3 becomes 12b. So 4 into 6 is 24, 24a minus 4 into 3 is 12 minus 12b equals to 4 into 1 is 4. Whenever I am multiplying a number with the equation, I have to multiply on both the sides, on the left hand side as well as on the right hand side. So that's what I have done now. So we have 24a minus 12b equals to 4. So this becomes my equation 3. Now what I am going to do, if you see here, this is minus 12b and in the equation 1 I have plus 12b. I just need to add them, right? Plus and minus becomes, they'll get cancelled. So I am going to add 1 and equation 1 and equation 3. So that becomes 5a. Let me write the full thing. We don't need to write it, but to increase the understanding, we can write it. There is no problem. So 5a plus 12b is the first equation. And then we have 24a minus 12b equals to 4 plus 2. Or 2 plus 4 you can write. That's fine. That's the same thing. So if you see here, this is 12b and minus 12b. This gets cancelled. 24 plus 5 becomes 29a. Right? Equals to 4 plus 2 is 6. So a becomes 6 upon 29. Okay. Similarly, we can find value of b as well. So this becomes 4th for us. And let's say I'm putting this one into equation number 2. So putting 4 in 2. So it becomes 6 into 6 by 29 minus 3b equals to 1. So again, it becomes minus 3b. I'll take this thing to the right hand side. So it becomes, let's take it. Yeah, let's do another thing because this is more than 1. This becomes 6 into 6 is 36. 36 upon 29. And I'll bring this 1 here and I'll take 3b here. So it was plus 1, it becomes minus 1 equals to 3b. So if you see here, it becomes 3b equals to 36 minus 29 becomes 7, 7 upon 29. So b becomes 7 upon 29 to 3 is 3 9 is 27, 2, 3 to 6 to 87, 7 upon 87. So this is the value of b. Now using the values of a and b, we can find values of x and y, right? So I have a as 6 upon 29. So what is A? A is nothing but 1 upon x minus 1. If you see here on the top, we have A as 1 upon x minus 1. So that's what I'm saying. 1 upon x minus 1 becomes 6 upon 29. Now, I'll do cross multiplication here. I'll take this x minus 1 up and 29 on the left hand side. So it becomes 29 equals to 6x minus 6, right? So 6x becomes 29 plus 6 is 35. Therefore, x becomes 35 by 6. So we found out b, but what we could have done was we could use the value of x to find the value of y from this equation as well. It would have been a bit tedious, but we can do that. Okay. So we have found the value of x. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just check if I missed something. Why I'm saying so is because the values are not that good looking. So maybe so like if you see the board questions or the questions that come in your exams, the calculation, because methods that we have used, right? These things are the main thing that you need to understand. So answers may become a bit relaxed. So you might see the proper real numbers or proper integers here in the numbers. Okay. But here we don't see it. So that's fine. That's why I wanted to check once. Okay, no worries. So the other thing that we have found is B is 7 upon 87. And what is B? B is nothing but 1 upon y minus 2. So if you see here from the top, we have got value of B, which is 1 upon y minus 2, and this is 7 upon 87. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. 87 becomes, I'm going to cross multiply. 1 into 87 becomes 87, and 7 into y minus 2 becomes 7 by minus 14. So 87 plus 14 becomes 101 equals to 7y, and y becomes 101 by 7. So this is how we can find the answers of both x and y. So I hope this is clear. Okay, so I'll go to the next question now. So this is again a question of reducing the equations to the system of linear equations. So what we can see here is we have u and v, and then we have uv as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide uv on both the sides. So this becomes 3 into 2 is 6 u upon uv plus 3v upon uv again equals to 7uv upon uv. So this gets cancelled. This also gets cancelled. Here u gets cancelled. So it becomes 6 upon v plus 3 upon u equals to 7. Similarly, here also if we do it, 3u upon uv plus 3v upon, sorry, not 3, 3 into 3 is 9. 9v upon uv equals to 11 uv upon uv. So I've divided the whole equation with uv's. This gets cancelled, and this gets cancelled. So it becomes 3 upon v plus 9 upon u equals to 11. See, we can, okay, let's try that only. So 1 upon v, we are saying is again a, right? And 1 upon u is b. So I have done the substitution here. Okay, not the substitution, but the reduction of equations into linear equation. So this becomes 6a plus 3b equals to 7, and 3a plus 9b is 11. So if you see here, this, okay, both of the equations are quite similar. So we have 6a and we have 3a here. Let's multiply this equation. So let's say this is 1, this is 2, and I'm multiplying 2 with 2. So this becomes 2 into 3 is 6a plus 2 into 9 is 18b equals to 2. So this becomes equation 3 for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3 from 1. So you can write subtracting third equation from 1, which becomes 6a minus 6a. Okay, let me write it down so that it becomes clear to you. 6a plus 3b minus 6a plus 18b equals to 7 minus 2. So what we are saying here is since we are subtracting it, the 6a and 6a gets subtracted, right? And we have 3b minus 18b, which becomes minus 15b equals to 7 minus 2 is 5. So if I calculate b, it becomes minus 5 upon 15, because minus 15 will go to the right hand side and it will divide 5. So this becomes minus 1 by 3. Now, what is b? B is 1 upon u, right? So 1 upon u becomes minus 1 by 3, and therefore u becomes minus 3. So that's the first thing that we have got from here. Okay. Now, for uh, now since we have value of b, let's put value of b in equation 2, or let's say in equation 1. So putting value of b in 1. So this becomes 6a plus 3 into minus 1 by 3 equals to 7. So this gets cancelled. So 6a plus 1 is 7. If I take this plus 1 to the right hand side, becomes minus 1. So this becomes 7 minus 1, which is 6 again. And a becomes 1. What is a? A is nothing but 1 upon v. And therefore v becomes 1. So if you see here, we have found the values of both u and v. So this is how you have to do these questions. So if you see here, the values of u and b are integers only, right? So that's what I was trying to say in the previous question. In generally, in these kind of questions, how you do these questions, because see, the calculation that we have done here in this part, as well as whatever we have done in this part, this thing is important. The value, calculating the answers, like minus 3 and 1, which we have got here, these can be simple. The answers can be simple here, but the method is most important. So a few things that you have to remember here when you are doing these type of questions. So the first method that we did was we did substitution. We found the value of one of the variables and put it in the second equation. So that's one way to solve it. The second one was we are going to equate the coefficients of one of the variables. Okay, that's the second method. The third method was there can be equations which are not looking like linear equations of two variables, but we can convert them and we can solve the questions easily. And for this, we saw two questions. Okay. Another important thing that you have to remember is the things which are on the left hand side, when they go to the right hand side, they change their operation. So if there is a plus thing, plus something is there, when you take it to the right hand side, it becomes minus. If there's something in multiplication on the left hand side and you take it to the right hand side, it becomes division, right? So this is same from left to right or right to left. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. Let's catch up in another video. Okay, thank you.